Welcome back to the channel. This week is Scam Week, where we feature a doctored up auction car every day of the week. So far we've done a Jaguar on Monday, a Honda on Tuesday, and today is Wednesday, so we're going to do a Lexus. This is a Lexus RX350, and this one is actually coming around for the second time. I caught the tail end of it last week when I was watching our RDX go through the auction, and it did sell. It didn't meet their reserve. They got $17,250 for it, but apparently they wanted a little bit more. Luckily for the guy that was trying to buy it, he was in New Jersey, he didn't win it. So maybe it saved him a little bit of money. Unfortunately, he might be back this week to pay even more. And hopefully he sees this video and changes his mind. I can help him out. So let's jump into our Lexus and see just how bad it really is. So let's have a look at our Lexus RX350. It's in DC, of course. It came from Pennsylvania, has a Pennsylvania salvage title. It is a run and drive, and there is no seller. That's because it's from our favorite sellers and not an insurance company. And if we really want this thing, we could pay $22,500 and have it right now. Somebody's already paying $12,000. So let's see what they're buying. Let's see, looking at it here, doesn't look too bad. This front bumper looks like there might be some issues. A little damage here at the top of the fender. And this paint doesn't look the best on this hood. Same thing with the bumper. Our moldings popped out of the bottom of the bumper here. We have a little damage on our door. And a little damage on the quarter. Nothing on the bumper. There's a little hole in the back here. Looks like the lift gate's okay. So there was definitely something done back here. This bumper looks like it's got the same quality paint as the hood and the front bumper. Not sure if that's a dent or a reflection. It doesn't look like our seats are torn. We don't have any seat belts that are laying anywhere. Definitely see we got some damage on our door here. See some scrapes on the wheel. $20,385 miles. They zoomed in too much. We can't see if there's any dash emojis that are on. We do have a warning light here, probably for this pre-collision system malfunction. So we definitely got something going on the front end. Back end looks okay. There's our VIN. Okay, we definitely have something going on up here. We got a broken closeout panel. This hood has definitely been replaced. Be worried about these headlights being held in with sheet metal screws or wood screws or duct tape and bubble gum, whatever they use to hold these things in. We're missing our parking sensors in the front. Did get a key. Our moldings at the bottom are cracked. Definitely missing some more parking sensors in here. So that's probably why our pre-collision light is on. Who knows if there's a camera back there. And that looks like it was probably just a reflection there. All right, so we have damage here and definitely something in the front end that they're covering up. Check out our 360. We've pretty much seen everything on the outside. Took some pretty good pictures for us. See about the inside. Oh, sunroof. This is a cheapie. Don't see anything wrong with the headliner. Maybe no curtains deployed. Seatbelts look like they're okay. All right. Well, I don't see anything wrong inside. Surprising. So, let's see what it looked like before they got to it. Okay, well, there's an explanation. They bought it for $14,400. It was a Copart. It's got the Copart sticker on it. The miles didn't change, so they weren't driving it at all. It looks like a pole. Her headlight was broken, so they probably didn't replace it. They just stuffed it back in there. Something definitely caught the back end of it here. Our exhaust is shoved up underneath. Shove the wheel forward. A lot of times it does damage the rocker down here. That's not an easy repair. And we're probably going to need a quarter panel. I'm sure there's more damage under here. They must have gotten a bumper cover for it and threw it on there. Just to try to cover this up a little bit. I'll have to go back and look and see if we can see the exhaust hanging down on the other one. I didn't even look at that. Just a little picture. It's okay. The side isn't too bad. See our front end, this headlight's still in there. And that is definitely a pole. Doesn't look like we have any airbags that went off, so I would have to say this car was parked when it got hit and shoved into a pole. Probably parallel parked on the side of the street, and somebody came along not paying attention and slammed into the back of it, shoved it into a pole. The liftgate's still good. That trim piece is off, but our seats aren't folded back, and if there were a passenger in there getting hit from the back, the seats collapse. They're okay, and no airbags went off, especially with the front hitting whatever it hit. You would expect to see that if the vehicle was on. So I'm saying this one was parked, so they probably didn't cut out any airbags. So that's a bonus. All kinds of dash emojis here. Yeah, there's no curtain airbags that went off. And we can see where our closeout panel got broken. There's the VIN. And that's it. So they bought a bumper cover, a hood, a grill, probably a wheel, unless they just reused that one, but I would imagine it was probably broken. Some suspension and a rear bumper cover, and just threw it all on there. I'm guessing they probably didn't buy anything underneath here, no reinforcements. I'm sure that headlight is probably the same headlight. Let's go back and look at it. We can't really see the exhaust, so I'm wondering if they just cut the exhaust off, because those exhaust tips are part of the bumper, so there's probably no muffler or pipe on there. This looks like it was a used cover. They just threw on there, had damage on it. Gap's a little wide back here. Yeah, I would say there's no muffler or anything in there. And that might be the same wheel, but I would have thought it would be broken. So they might have just gotten one from a junkyard that, was all a core wheel basically, just to put it on there and make it look pretty. Who knows if they bought a suspension or just straightened out what they had there to make it look like the wheel is straight. Don't know, couldn't tell you, but they definitely did put a little effort into it to try to make it look a little better. So you might be wondering, why did they put the effort into fixing the front end and only half the effort in fixing the back end? In the back end, all they really did was put the suspension on it and put a rear bumper on it. maybe they didn't even put suspension on it. They might have just straightened it out. You don't know. But the front end, they put all the parts on. And the reason they did that is because they want a distraction. They want you to look at the pictures and see a little bit of damage on that quarter that doesn't look too bad. After all, didn't mess up the bumper. It was just a little bit of skin damage on that quarter and that door. So the buyer is thinking, oh, I just need to put a door and a quarter on it. They aren't thinking, hey, this thing got rear-ended, it shoved the rear end, the rear suspension into the rocker, and then shoved the whole car into a pole. So they're gonna miss all that stuff on the front end, the headlights, the parking sensors, the grille pieces, the closeout panel. I'm sure it needs cooling, and I'd be really surprised if it had a bumper reinforcement in there. So when you start adding all that stuff up, plus all the damage that's underneath that rear bumper and probably a missing exhaust and whatever suspension they didn't replace, you end up with a build that's going to cost you a lot more than you thought it was going to cost. The good thing about this one is the airbags didn't deploy. Although that doesn't mean you're going to get the airbags, because given the untrustworthiness of these sellers, it wouldn't surprise me if they dropped the headliner, pulled the curtain airbags out of there and stuffed the headliner back up there, sold off the curtain airbags or used them for something else. Until I can see it in person, I wouldn't trust anything. And since it's in DC, yeah, this car's a no for me. And hopefully the guy from New Jersey sees this video and it's a no for him as well. So I will be back tomorrow with another auction car that they've doctored up, unless I get a cease and desist letter, and then I'll be back with as many as I can find. Thanks for watching.